Yeah, so I just do it one more time.
Just give the wings a small push.
That's good. There's not a fan in the Indian train. You take your comb and give it a little start. All right, let's start. Om Jnanatimmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadameshyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Kujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayotha Mukhyam Sri Ramadutam Shirasa Namami Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Krutamastakanjalim Bhashpavari Paripurnalochanam Marutim Rakshasantakam Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya Vame Cha Janakatmaja Purato Marutir Yasya Tam Vande Raghunandanam Apadam Apahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Vedavedye Pare Pumse Jate Dasharathatmaje Veda Pracheta Sadasit Sakshat Ramayanatmanaha. Hare Krishna, welcome back. One more session of Srimad Ramayana. Today we are going to do chapters 38 to 44 in Balakanda. Okay. And interestingly, these 7 chapters deal with the descent of Ganga on the earthly realm. So you can see how important it is. The reason Vishwamitra speaks the story in elaboration or elaborately is because Lord Ramachandra asked him, Vistarena Akhyatam. Please say in detail, don't skip out anything. And he is very interested in hearing. For 2 reasons. One, it is connected with his own ancestors. Second, Ganga Devi is such a great river that he wants to hear about her. Now the hidden meaning is Lord Ramachandra always wants to hear about his own devotees. So whenever it comes to the glories of his devotees, he is very eager to hear. So he wants to hear in detail. So in the 35th chapter, he had asked Vishwamitra, Trilokyam Katham Akramya Gata Nada Nadim Patim. Please tell me how Ganga came into this world, into the 3 worlds, this universe actually. Okay? And what is her story? Please tell me in detail. So the word Ganga, right, comes from the fact that she came onto the earth. So one of the names of the earth is, of course, we heard Prithvi, Dhatri, Vasudha, but one of the words is Gam. Where do you hear Gam? In Bhagavad Gita. Gama Vishya, Krishna says, I, through the moon, enter the earth to nourish and give taste to the vegetables. So Gam is the earth. Gam and Ga, one who went to the earthly realm. So Gamga, that in Sanskrit becomes Ganga. She is the one who came to the earthly realm. And one of the words that she is constantly referred to as Tripathaga, we heard last time. Tripathaga means three pathaga. She goes on three paths. So the question is, what are the three paths? So for this one word, there are multiple meanings. So first meaning, Tripathaga, means she is traveling, or she resides in the Devalokas. She resides on the sky or in the sky, and then she resides on earth. That's called Tripathaga. Another meaning for Tripathaga is she resides in the heavens, on the earth, and in the lower planets. Because we're going to hear how she's gone to Rasatala. That's the second meaning. Third meaning, Tripathaga, is that she came from three sources. Okay. One source is she is that waters that are constantly washing the feet of Garbhodaka Vishnu. Garbhodaka Shayi Vishnu. And that water is the sacred water. So she comes into this universe. Second is when Vamana Dev lifted his foot, the toenail pierced the covering of the universe. How big is Vamana Deva's toenail? Here's the in your picture you can imagine how big that toenail is and how big Vamana was. His toe pierced through the coverings of the universe. Okay. If you have a ball, this I heard. This is very big, but let's assume this is the size of the entire universe. That is 4 billion miles in diameter. Then the coverings of the universe are about 100 miles. Because the universe is covered, right, by the 8 elements. So that covering is about 100 miles thick. So when Vamana lifted his foot, the toe pierced through that entire thing. Now don't ask me how Vamana fit into it, because Vamana was dwarf. Okay. So first is Garbhodaka water. Second is when Vamana toe pierced the coverings, water leaked into the universe. And the third is, there's another Puranic story that once Lord Brahma washed Lord Vishnu's lotus feet with his Kamandalu. And that Kamandalu water never gets over. But when he was washing Lord Vishnu's feet, that water was not enough. So he prayed to the transcendental Ganga Devi, please come and through my pot, please help me wash Lord Vishnu's feet. So Tripathaga, third one. The 3 sources of her. Later we'll hear. Another reason she's called Tripathaga is when she comes to Lord Shiva's head and Lord Shiva doesn't allow her to go. I'll tell you the details a little later. But from there, when she's released in 3 streams. One stream goes eastwards. And in that stream, she breaks into 3 rivulets. And the names are Hladini, Nalini, and Pavani. From another stream, that also becomes 3 rivulets, goes westwards. And she's called Suchakshu, Sita, and Sindhu. And the third stream is the one that follows King Bhagirath. And she's called Bhagirathi. So Tripathaga, 3 paths. Alright, so that's sort of and so the descent of Ganga is Ganga itself is a very important river. Please don't think she's the only river that follows from Gomukh to Ganga Sagar Mela in Kolkata. That is there on the earthly realm. But these waters are very, very special. They are the water, that is the Charanamrit. They are the water that are constantly washing Lord Vishnu's feet. It's very sacred. So naturally, Lord Ramachandra wants to know. So Vishwamitra starts the story from the point, this is chapter, are you cold? chapter 38, he says, one of your ancestors, his name was Sagara. And Sagara was in the Ikshvaku dynasty and was a very powerful king. And he had two wives. One's name was Keshini and the other's name was Sumati. And in this case, they didn't fight with each other. They were very sweet queens. Okay. So, Sagara, the reason he got this name Sagara is when he was a child, there were some other stepmothers who were envious of him. So they fed him poison, thinking he will die. There's another story, right, in Chitraketu's also, when Chitraketu's wife delivers the child and all the other 999 million queens, they didn't have any children, they became jealous, they fed the child poison and finished him off. Somewhere something like this, this boy was also fed poison, but he didn't die. Although his growth was stunted, he was still very powerful, but not like, the great Kshatriya kings that were tall, muscular, not like that, but very strong, but very stunted in growth. And because he grew up with poison in his body, he got his name Sagara. In Sanskrit, wherever you hear the word Sa, it means with. Right? We say, when we are giving invitations, what do we say? No, that is Swa, not Sa. When we give invitation, Bandhu Mitra, Sameta, Sameta Bhakta Vrinda, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda. Samaveta means those along with everyone. Use the word Sameta. Right? Sa. I'll give you another nice meaning of the word Sa, or where it is used. Right? So, Sa-gara. Gara is poison. So, one who was living with poison, his name became Sagara. Krishna had a son by the name Samba. Right? And he's the one who put that iron ball under his dress and went to Narada and said, "Oh, please tell me when this child will be born." Right? They were all intoxicated and they were having fun. You know why he got the name Samba? Sa and Amba means with the mother. The child was always with the mother. Mother is holding the hand because that child is very mischievous. So because he's always kept close to the mother, he got the name Samba. Mischievous fellow, and he was the one who did a few funny things, and then the whole Yadava dynasty got cursed to die. Anyway, so King Sagara and his two wives wanted to have a child. So they went, this is the method to have a child, one has to perform austerities. So they went to the Himalayas, and next to a waterfall that belonged to Bhrigu Muni, they performed austerities for a very, very long time. Very severe austerities. So Bhrigu Muni became very pleased. And he said, "Oh, I have noticed that you three have been performing such wonderful austerities. I'm very pleased. So I bless you that you will have children." But as in every Brahmana's blessing, some trick is always, not trick, but something is always there. So he said, since you have two wives, I bless that one of you will bear a son that will carry the lineage forward. The other will have sons who are very, very strong, very famous, and full of prowess. And not one, 60,000 sons. Which one wants which benediction? So all three of them with folded palms very humbly prayed to Bhrigu Muni and said, "You please tell us who's going to get which blessing." So Bhrigu said, "You choose. You can choose." So Keshini said, "I want that one son who will take the lineage forward." Sumati, she is the sister of Garuda. So she said, "I want the very strong, powerful, famous sons." So, in due course of time, Keshini gave birth to a boy who was named Asamanjasa. And Sumati gave birth to one spherical ball that later became 60,000 parts, and all those parts were kept in a vat of ghee. And there they grew up into young male embryos, 60,000 of them. And very soon gained, so you eat ghee, what if you've grown in ghee, right? Became very strong and so powerful, youthfully effulgent like anything. So when you eat olive oil, it's okay. When you eat ghee, you're effulgent. So about Asamanjasa, then there is some reference. So Asamanjasa shows up here. He also shows up in Bhagavatam. In this one, in Ramayana, Valmiki Muni doesn't give the backstory of Asamanjasa. In Bhagavatam, there is little backstory. So the story is Asamanjasa, who, although the son of King Sagara, was a little goofy. What he would do is every day he would stand by the banks of the river Sarayu, and whichever boy was walking around, he would take the boy, drown him in the Sarayu, ha 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 ha, and laugh. That was his sport. So everyone was a little scared. Every time anyone was walking around Sarayu, they saw Asamanjasa, they would run away because he would drown these children there. So King Sagara became very upset with his son and kicked him out of his kingdom. Okay. But in Bhagavatam, in the 9th canto, chapter 8, a little backstory is there. The backstory is that Asamanjasa, in his previous life, was a very, very great yogi. Okay, very great yogi. Unfortunately, he had a little bad association. So even great yogis, even great devotees, with bad association can change, right? And they do change. That is why Rupa Goswami warns us very much to have proper association. And also discriminate not just association, but good association, not bad association, especially Mayavad association or any other association we don't take. So Asamanjasa, from a great yogi, fell down. Okay. And he had one gift though. It is called Jati Smara. Jati Smara means you have memory of your previous life. Are there other stories in Bhagavatam about Jati Smara? Jadabharata, very good. One more? Was offering prayers and he remembered the prayers from his previous life, Gajendra. He was King Indrajumna in his previous life and he remembered. So it's called Jati Smara. So Asamanjasa also had Jati Smara. So as he would throw these children, and as King Sagara became very upset, by his yogic power, he brought all of them back to life. So this was his sport. He would kill the boys and drown them in the water, and everybody was like, ah! He would bring them back to life. But anyway, King Sagara did not like it. He banished him from the kingdom. Then these 60,000, he has only now 60,000 sons of Sumati, right? So after many years, King Sagara decided he will perform an Ashwamedha Yajna. And so that wonderful horse was brought. And for Ashwamedha Yajna, the horse has to first travel the earth, right? And no other kings, they're called Samanta. Samanta Rajas are the smaller kings who are in fidelity to the emperor. And if any one of the kings decides, no, I want to take on the emperor head on, then they are supposed to hold the horse. And then the emperor's army will fight with that king's army. If the king wins, he becomes the emperor. Otherwise, the horse is allowed to pass all over the earth. That way the king say, no, this is emperor's horse. We are not going to mess with it. That's the way of showing that the emperor is very powerful. So when this horse was walking here and there, the King Sagara's sons, 60,000 sons were also looking for it. The horse suddenly disappeared. And it was Indradev. You can sit there, no? It was Indradev in the form of a Rakshasa. He kidnapped that horse. He didn't want Sagara to fulfill his. So the point is, we generally think of Indra as the bad guy. Indra is the king of the demigods. Right? The point is, one who wants to perform a very big task, then some impediment must be expected. Because in those impediments, the person's true character comes out and everyone gets to see. Right? If you walk into an airline, I use this example, if you walk into an airline, they all say, oh, welcome, hi, good morning. But you tell them your service is bad or something's not okay, then their good morning goes away. They become upset. Only some people know how to manage crisis and know how to manage the situation. So everyone has to see how King Sagara will respond. So then King Sagara went to his 60,000 sons and said, I cannot leave this place of sacrifice because I am the main Yajman. Right? You've seen, we did the Yajna the other day, right? And we were the Yajman. Someone said, oh, we need this. We said, can you please bring that? He said, you're not supposed to leave. So he said, I cannot leave the sacrificial arena. Your 60,000 sons, get on. Go find where this horse is and leave no space unturned. Go check every space out. 60,000 sons. They went and searched everywhere. They searched all over the earth. The entire surface of the earth they searched. Long time passed. They came back. And they said, can't find the horse. We don't know where it is. King Sagara said, I can't take no for an answer. I can't get another horse. That horse is what we need. So now you dig the earth if required. Go down as far as you can into the nether realms. Okay? Even if you have to go to Patala, Rasatala, it doesn't matter. Go and search for the horse. So then these 60,000 sons started traversing, looking for the horse. They were so strong, they started digging the ground with their bare hands. Okay. Now I'm going to say something. In this case, they keep saying the earth, they were digging the earth. Now this is a little complicated. This is from 5th canto of Bhagavatam. In 5th canto, where Bhumandala is being spoken about, sometimes is referred to as the earth and sometimes to as the solar system. Okay. So when you say Patala, Rasatala, the realms under the earth, they're called Bilasvargas. In this reference, it seems they're digging the earth. Although whether they're digging the earth or they're going to the lower realms, it's sort of the language is used of digging. Okay. So in one way you can think of they're digging the earth, in another way they are going to the lower realms. Okay. So don't ask me how strong were their hands, because they were digging with their hands and going. Okay. So I'm not going to answer that question. But there are some nice details which I want to read for you. So as they started digging and digging and digging, naturally what happens when you dig the earth, you hear loud sounds, right? Oh my gosh, the whole earth started roaring as if it was being beaten by large thunderbolts. So digging and drilling as they dig for oil now. Okay. They went through 60,000 yojanas of the earth and reached Rasatala. Okay. Then all the devatas, the Gandharvas, Yakshas, Kinnaras, everyone, including Lord Brahma, became very disturbed. And they approached Lord Brahma. Okay. Lord Brahma was not disturbed. Everyone else was disturbed. They reached Lord Brahma and said, what is going on? What is going on? Please do something about this. He says, all these great soul started praying that these 60,000 sons of King Sagara are destroying the entire earthly realm. They're destroying our place of meditation. They're also disturbing all other creatures. So please do something. So then Lord Brahma says, they're all trying to find that horse. Don't worry. Lord Madhava or Vasudeva, he will take care of them. Something will happen where he will take care of them. So these 60,000 sons, they reach Rasatala. Okay. So when they say Rasatala, sometimes they also say Ganga Sagar Mela, where Ganga meets the ocean, is where Lord Kapila is sitting. Kapila can be sitting in more than one place at the same time. We cannot be. So Lord Kapila's ashram was in Rasatala. He was quietly sitting in his meditation. When these 60,000 sons reached there, they saw Lord Kapila. They were very happy to see him. And as they were proceeding towards Kapila, not far from Kapila there was this horse. Indra had taken and kept it there. So when the 60,000 sons saw, like circumstantial evidence, okay, in movies, the villain kills the heroine's father or some grandfather, and when the hero walks into the room, he sees the knife there, he picks up the knife, and as soon as he picks up the knife, the police show up and say, "Oh, the knife is in your hands, fingerprints are there, dead body is there, you're the murderer." Right? It's called circumstantial evidence. So in the court of law, circumstantial evidence is not usually strong. So when the 60,000 sons came, the horse was nicely eating grass. These boys or men, without asking Lord Kapila the right questions, assumed. Okay, here's the danger of assumption. You see something doesn't seem right, don't assume. Right? 60,000 of them assumed. I don't know, they didn't even have a discussion. Not one of them said, "Hey, possible that something else might be going on." All 60,000 rushed towards Lord Kapila saying, "You thief! How dare you steal the horse? We will take the horse immediately." And Lord Kapila opened his eyes and uttered the humkara. Hum. This in the Vedic times, these humkaras are very powerful. They're called humkara. The sound. Hum. In different places, this humkara is there. We haven't come to the bow yet, but I'll give you the story already. Vishwakarma created two bows. One was given to Lord Vishnu, one was given to Lord Shiva. Then all the demigods wanted to know who's greater between the two. So they wanted a little friendly game, contest between Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu using these bows that Vishwakarma had made. So Lord Shiva and Vishnu agreed, okay, no problem. All the demigods came to see. Lord Shiva came with the Pashupata Shara bow. Lord Vishnu also came. Now you have to string the bow, right? So Lord Shiva, while he was stringing the bow, Lord Vishnu uttered the humkara, hum. And that hum was so powerful that Lord Shiva's bow cracked. So Lord Shiva said, "I don't want this bow." And that was given to King Janaka's ancestor. We heard that story. Another place is when Tataka was there. We heard this one. Vishwamitra told Dasharath Maharaj, "I don't need Lord Ramachandra. Okay, by my own power, I can kill Tataka like this. All I have to do is, that's it, Tataka will die. But all my tapas merit will also go away. But I have to perform this yajna in Siddhashram. Therefore, I need your son to take care of Tataka. By my one humkara, Tataka, Subahu, Maricha, everyone will be finished." But I don't want to do it. It's like, after all that tapasya that I've got and all the credits that I've got, it all gets spent away. I don't want to do it. Because Vishwamitra has spent all his yogic powers many times, which is also coming up. Okay. So this humkara, then all the 60,000 men burnt immediately and became piles of ash. So we should not think that Lord Kapila killed them. Okay, Lord Kapila's Humkara was a warning to them. The Bhagavatam describes that by the offense to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that inner fire in them burnt them. They all have fire, temperature inside. Someone went to 104, 106 few days ago. 98.6 is good. When it grows, we are worried. Their temperature went very high. So high that in a moment they became ash, a lump of ash. Generally, imagine this. We have a lot of flesh, mucus, right, and fat. When you burn fat, it becomes liquid, right? You have a lump of ghee, you put it in a pot, it becomes liquid. But how hot must the temperature be that it doesn't even go through that process, it immediately becomes ash. That high the temperature was. For the offense of misunderstanding and claiming that Lord Kapila was the thief. So from that Humkara, they all died. Anyway, there are some details. You want to hear the elephants that they met along the way? All right. Then before they reached Lord Kapila's ashram, if you remember 5th canto, the entire Bhumandala is being carried by 4 Diggajas. We call them Diggaja. Some big guy, he says, and I say it in Telugu, Diggajudu laga unnadu. So these Diggaja, Dig means directions, and Gaja is the elephant. There are 4 elephants that guard the 4 directions, north, south, east, west. Okay? And so it is said that these elephants are carrying the whole Bhumandala. Once in a while when they are tired and they move like this, we get earthquakes. Please. There are tectonic plates that are moving, I understand that. But I'm speaking Vedic, how tectonic plates move in the first place. Why they move. So these Diggajas, so when the 60,000 Prabhus went, first they went and found the first elephant. His name is Virupaksha. And they looked at Virupaksha, then they offered their obeisances, they circumambulated Virupaksha, and they asked him, "Did you see the horse?" He said, "No." Okay. So here it says, this is Vishwamitra Muni saying, Yada Parvani Kakustha Vishramartham Mahagajan. Vishramartham means for a little relief. If you're carrying some burden, right? For some relief. Khedat chalayate shiram bhumikampa tada bhavet. Bhumikampa is called earthquake, right? In English. So whenever the elephant moves a little bit because of the weight, there are earthquakes. So then they continued. Then they met. They went into the southern region, and they saw the other great elephant in the southern region. His name is Mahapadma. And they were so astonished to see Mahapadma. They circumambulated Mahapadma. Then they went to the western region, and that elephant is called Saumanasa. We should know these elephants because they are carrying our burden. Okay. And then finally they offered obeisances, circumambulated, and then went to the northern region where that elephant is called Bhadra. Okay. And finally reached Kapila's ashram. So now that they are burnt, the message did not come back to King Sagara. What happened? So he said, horse gone, son's also gone. What to do? So he had grandson, Asamanjasa's son. His name was Anshuman. Okay. So King Sagara told Anshuman, your father is gone, my 60,000 sons are gone, horse is gone, I need your help. I need to perform this yajna. I can't just leave it half done. So I need your help. Can you go find? So King Anshuman said, yeah, sure. So as King Anshuman starts searching, okay, he took his bow, he circumambulated his grandfather, took his bow and arrow, and he said, I'm going to go. So he started searching because they had already dug the earthly realm. He knew, okay, they had gone in this direction. So he also went and saw these four elephants, okay, offered obeisances, circumambulated, said, did you see my uncles? They also went in that direction. He went and whole Bhumandala he traversed. Couldn't find. Finally, he found Garuda. And Garuda told him, don't worry, very soon what you're looking for will be successful. You will find it. And this is what Garuda said. What is Garuda's mother's name? You know? What is one of the names of Garuda? Another name? Vainateya. Never heard? Okay. Because Garuda's mother's name is Vinata. So Vinata's son is Vainateya. So he said, oh intelligent one, all of your uncles have been burnt by Lord Kapila. Okay. So you should now somehow revive them and help them move on to the heavenly realms. Okay. So the best thing you can do is to bring Ganga here. So Anshuman said, how do I bring Ganga? Where is Ganga? She's not in Himalayas. She's in the heavenly realm. He said, yeah, somehow you have to bring her from the heavenly realm onto the earthly realm. Anshuman said, oh, that's a very tough job. Why would she even come? And Garuda said, yes, then you should sprinkle the water of the Ganges on these ashes, and only then your uncles will be relieved. So bring her. And he said that the horse is in Kapila's ashram. You take from there. So then he went to Kapila's ashram, offered obeisances to Kapila. This time he didn't do anything silly. Quietly took his permission and took the horse. So King Sagara was able to successfully perform the yajna. But then his sons, and then for Anshuman, his uncles have not been relieved. They're in the Preta state. Preta means ghostly state. So when someone dies and their followers don't do Pinda Dana, it's called Pinda Udaka, Pindodaka. That is Vishnu Mahaprasad and water. If you don't offer, then that Preta or that subtle body cannot reach the planet of the Pitrus. Okay? And that is why they do all these annual ceremonies. Prabhupada says that those who are performing bhakti, that compensates for it. So on this there is a lot of debate whether one should do or one should not do. The general understanding is that those who are performing bhakti, those persons must be performing bhakti at a very high and pure level. For them, that rina is not there. For the average mediocre performers or lower than average performers like me, one has to fulfill those obligations properly. Anyway, so that's a debated topic in ISKCON, and I don't want to handle ISKCON topics at this point. Okay. So then, now this is chapter 42. After some time, King Sagara, he gave the kingdom to Anshuman and he died. So Anshuman was a fantastic king. While all his kingdom was very well, everything was managed well, at the back of his head was this continuous distress that his uncles have not been relieved. I'm going to speed up the story. I've been adding too many details. So I want to finish this today. Oops, I'll finish in 20 minutes. So no more details. It's a bland story for you. Okay? Yeah. So King Anshuman, he for a very long time was constantly thinking how to bring Ganga here, how to bring Ganga here. But he had no solution. Although he lived very austerely, that austerity was not strong enough for Ganga to descend. So then he became old, almost after 30,000 years of contemplation and meditation, nothing happened. So it was time for him to give up the kingdom and pass on. So he gave the kingdom to his son. His name was? Huh? What did he say? No, Dilip. Okay. Gave to Dilip. And he said, here's the kingdom. Somehow think about how you'll bring your grandfathers? Yeah. Your grandfathers. You have to help them somehow. So King Dilip said, okay, I will also try. Now Dilip was very strong, very intelligent, but he did not know how to bring Ganga down here. So Dilip, unfortunately, did not go beyond thinking and planning. He couldn't put it into action. So he always knew, okay, some austerity must be performed. Something must be done to bring Ganga Devi down. But no action. He couldn't do it. 30,000 years passed. Still those ancestors were not relieved. So King Dilipa then gave the responsibility to his son, King Bhagiratha, and told him, hey, I tried, my father tried, nothing happened. See if you can do something. King Bhagiratha was very, very, not only intelligent, but very devoted to his lineage. So when I'm narrating the story for us, one of the things we should consider is the fidelity and the honor for the disciplined succession. Okay, that's the whole point here. And one Acharya's desire, this person became very, very determined to complete. Okay, one of the parallels is when Yamunacharya passed away, Ramanujacharya came running to see him. They had never met before that. But when he saw the body of Yamunacharya, there were 3 fingers like this. They were not opened. So Ramanujacharya, who was a very young man, asked all the devotees around, why are these 3 fingers? I don't know if it was these 3 fingers, but some 3 fingers, okay, were closed. He asked them, why are they closed like that? And I said, no, we didn't notice. Some said, I have no idea. But in Ramanujacharya's heart, there was this divine inspiration. And he said, there are 3 unfulfilled wishes of Yamunacharya. And I will finish them for him. Not in an arrogant way, in a very humble way, that I'll take on that service. Right? So anyway, he completed that. Once Prabhupada was sitting with all of his disciples, and he was talking about how powerful each Vaishnava is. And he said, these great Acharyas are so powerful that they can deliver the entire universe themselves, alone. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was such a great personality. He can deliver the whole universe. So then one of the smart disciples asked, then why didn't he do it? And Prabhupada very humbly said, oh, then we'll have some service to do. He left some service for us to do. Because if everyone is delivered, they will be like, where are the gulab jamuns? So these great acharyas, they leave something unfinished for the ones who are coming to fulfill. That is the spirit in which they take. Oh, they have left me some humble service. So Bhagirath was like that. Oh, they have left me some unfulfilled service. I have to take care of this because my father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, they've all left the world in a very distressed condition. Something was unfulfilled. So then King Bhagiratha went to a place called Gokarna. Okay. And so this Gokarna is, where is Gokarna? I've never been there. Near Karnataka, obviously. Okay. Gokarna means shaped like the ear of a cow. Very sacred place. He went there and he stood in the middle of 5 fires. Okay, so 5 fires, 4 around him, and the sun, the 5th fire. He didn't have any umbrella, clean shaven head, so it burns your head, especially in Gokarna. He stood there, and for how many years? Here is the number of years. Tasya Varsa Sahasrani, for 1,000 years. So then the question is, did he go to bed or not? The answer is yes, because at night there is no sun. So the flame also, someone has to keep pouring ghee or adding wood, right? So that's part of the tapasya, to stand in the middle of the fire. Anyone been near a fire? Not the little yagya fire that you have. Big fires. They're very, very scorching. But he stood in the middle of them, with the sun scorching above the head, and for 1,000 years. And when did he eat? He ate once a month. Okay? Once a month. Only once a month. And that 1 month is not like, get me all the pakoras and the pizzas, nothing like that. Where in Gokarna there was no pizza there. Very simple food. Okay? So 1,000 years passed in this very severe austerity, and Lord Brahma appeared to him. He became very, very happy to him. Said, "Hey, wonderful Bhagirath, I'm very pleased with your completely exhausted austerity. Okay? Accept a boon, whatever you want, you ask." So Bhagirath didn't ask anything for himself. He said, if you are pleased by my austerity, then that itself is successful. Then may all the sons of King Sagara be relieved from their horrible conditions. Please relieve them. So then he had 2 wishes. So he said, please give me an offspring, so that this great lineage of King Ikshwaku continues. It is not having a child for selfish reasons, but this great lineage has to continue. These great kings always had this concern, will the lineage continue? Right? Because there is so much knowledge, so much realization that have to be passed on. So Lord Brahma said, no problem, very good. You will be the increaser of King Ikshwaku's dynasty. Let it be so. Bhadram te. The favorite phrase that shows up in all of Bhagavatam. Whenever someone is being blessed, they say Bhadram te. Here also it's there. Bhadram te. Evam bhavad Bhadram te Ikshwaku kulavardhana. That the dynasty will continue from you. Alright, so from here on, Lord Brahma told him, the way King Sagara's children will be relieved, as you were told, you go to the Himalayas, okay, and the elder daughter of Himavan, Ganga, you pray for her to come. But she will not come until Lord Shiva is pleased. Because when she comes into the earthly realm, she's a very forceful water body. It will shatter and destroy the entire earth. So she needs to be, first, there's a dam, right? In a forceful river, you have to have a dam so that then water can be left peacefully. He said, you ask Lord Shiva if he will hold Ganga on his head. So King Bhagirath said, sure. So it's not like you text Lord Shiva. Right? So Lord Shiva has to be pleased. So King Bhagirath again performed austerity. This time this austerity was even more difficult. He stood on his toes with his hands stretched upwards and looking up towards Lord Shiva's abode. For 1 whole year, did not move, did not eat, did not drink. Okay, 1 whole year, stood like that on his toes, just to get Lord Shiva's attention. You need water? Okay, so this is how he stood. Tell me if you recognize these words. Urdhva Bahur Niralamba. Urdhva Bahur Niralamba means straight up like this. Vayu Bhakshaha, he was only breathing. Nirashrayah, not standing in a comfortable, nice little gazebo, nice breezes, not like that. Achala sthanavat sthitva, without moving, without shaking, no scratching. If ants were crawling, some bug bit him, was not like nothing. Okay. Ratrim divam arindama, night and day. It was not like night time, like tomorrow morning again. No night, no day. Stood like that for a whole year. Atha samvatsare purne sarvaloka namaskritah umapati pashupati rajanam idam abbravet. So finally, after 1 year, Lord Shiva became very pleased and said, what do you want? And Lord Shiva said, I will do whatever you say. I will do. So he says, oh Lord Hara, please bear Ganga on your head. So Lord Shiva says, I will do as you please. I will hold the daughter of Himavan on my head. So now everything is organized. Lord Brahma has blessed. He has spoken to Ganga Devi. He told us, you go, but you need to go to Lord Shiva's head. So finally, now Ganga has to descend. Now this Ganga doesn't come like 1 or 2 drips, like municipal water in India, or our faucet where you open and there is some gush. You've seen Niagara Falls? Okay, Niagara Falls is like a drop in front of Ganga's force. There's a little drop. So she was coming down, and so she had this sense of arrogance in her. Okay, I want to speak about arrogance. So here's the shloka. Okay. All right. So I'm going to read a couple of shlokas so you will see. Tada sati mahad rupam kritva vegam chadusaham akashad apatat rama shive shiva sirasi uta. So she started coming towards the earthly realm with this massive force. And she was thinking, the supremely unrestrainable goddess Ganga was thinking, Vishami aham patalam srotasa gruhya shankaram. I will come with such speed, I'll fall on Lord Shiva's head. He won't be able to handle me. I will go with that speed, with Vega, towards Patala. Because no one can stop me. I am Ganga. Then Lord Shiva, he knew. Tasya valepanam gyatva kruddhastu bhagavan haraha. He knew Ganga's arrogance and became upset, became angry. And he said, I will lock you up in my jata. So it became like a big well. And this Ganga, so this arrogance, when we hear of Ganga being arrogant, then we think, I'm also arrogant. Ganga is also arrogant. So I'm no different than Ganga. You're not Ganga, you're Punga. we're useless fellows. I am useless. I shouldn't say we. I have great people in this assembly. We shouldn't think, oh, arrogance. Well, what is the difference? Ganga also arrogant. The difference in a worldly arrogance is there is malice in our heart. That is why there is our kind of arrogance. My kind of arrogance, sorry. My kind of arrogance has malice in it. Malice means I want to harm somebody. Ganga's arrogance is her own strength and her own force. Okay. So that arrogance you shouldn't take as worldly. But Lord Shiva doesn't like it. Lord Shiva doesn't like any kind of arrogance from his devotees. And we are all followers of Lord Shiva also, right? Yes? Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu. So one thing Lord Shiva doesn't like is arrogance. So he said, we'll find out. So when she came with this force thinking she's going to go further, she was trapped. She's whirling inside Lord Shiva's jata. But not one drop would go up. So she became very frustrated. She became frustrated is okay. More frustrated was Bhagirath. Like, man, after so much austerity, she came down. After so much austerity, Lord Shiva agreed. And now, she's lost. She won't come. So then, Bhagirath, he had no other option but to again perform austerities. And again. So it's what it says. Tam apashyan punaha tatra tapah paramam astitah. Again, heavy austerity. That means to get something done, it's not like I performed austerity sometime. I got some blessings. It will happen. There are hurdles, there are blockades, there are some unforeseen issues that don't allow that thing to happen. And King Bhagiratha is showing us that he was very determined and patient. Utsahan, Nishchayat, Dhairya. Is it there? Yes. This is what Rupa Goswami is helping us. And in Ramayana, we are hearing the stories of such a person. Utsahan. He didn't lose his head. Okay, but you know what? You and Ganga stay there. No need. No, he was very enthusiastic. She has to come. Nishchayat. Why? Garuda said, Lord Brahma promised. That means it will happen. But Dhairya. It takes time, patience. And part of addressing patience or how we exhibit patience is continued austerity, tapasya. So then he says, Anena toshitas chabhut adyantam raghunandana visasraja tato ganganam haro bindu sharaha prati. Finally, Lord Shiva said, okay, Lord Shiva said, I'm very happy with your austerities and I will release Ganga towards Bindushara. So up in the Himalayas, there is a place called Bindusara. Okay, we hear about this place, Bindusaras. This is where Kashyapa Muni performed austerities and Lord Vishnu met him. Right? Although there are two Bindusaras. One is where we went for Yatra. We went to that place. And there is the other Bindusaras also. So then, this place Bindushara is the one that was created originally by Lord Brahma. So then when that water of the Ganges from Lord Shiva's Jata mixed in the Bindushara, from there she came out as 7 streams. 3 in the eastward, you remember the names? Khladini, Nalini and Pavani towards the east side. 3 went to the west side. Suchakshu, Sita and Sindhu. And 1, Lord Shiva said, oh go Bhagiratha, as you keep going forward, she will follow you. So then, the Ganges river started following. He was so happy. Finally, from the heavenly realms, after how many tens of thousands of years, Lord Brahma and Ganga have been merciful, Lord Shiva has been merciful, she's coming. But when she's entering the earthly realm from Lord Shiva's head, that one stream is so forceful. It is said that's when on the earth, fish, tortoises, and so called Shishumara, that is large snake-like dolphin, whatever that term, you've never seen a Shishumara. They also entered the earthly realm. But that water came with such force. It's only one little stream, okay? But it came with such force, it's described, that the Ganges water went fast, made loud noise. Some waves were splattering on the waves that were coming, means they were splashing back. White foam was spread all over. Everything was sprayed here and there. Loud noise. All the Devatas, Siddhas, Charanas, Gandharvas, they all came to see this beauty of the Ganga on earthly realm. Anyone visited Ganga? You went, no? I've been there. Oh boy, what a wonderful visual it is. So when we say Ganga, we had a little debate. Whether Ganga is more pious or pure than Yamuna. We're talking the celestial Ganges there, okay? Yeah. So when she came in, everybody was so happy. All the sages who were here on earthly realm, they were cursed in the heavenly realm. That's why they are here. So when we are in Chicago, one thing to know, we were all sages who were cursed, fulfilling some curse here. So they jumped into the Ganges and took a bath. And as soon as they took a bath, they went away to heavenly realms, back into their original positions. Because she was immediately relieving them of their sins. There's a very beautiful poetry called Ganges-Bala by Shankaracharya. Anyone knows it? You heard it?
Yeah.
Devi Sureshwari Bhagavati Ganga Tribhuvana Tarini Tarala Tarange Shankara Viharini Vimale Mama Mati Rastam Tavapada Kamale. You want to hear what the meaning is? Yeah. Shankara Mauli, from the forehead of Lord Shiva. Shankara Mauli Viharini Vimale. Vimale means pure. But Viharini means she was frolicking. She was enjoying and coming down. Viharini Vimale. Mama Mati Rastam. Let my mind be Tava Pada Kamale. Be fixed at your lotus feet. And there's a whole beautiful verse. I used to know it. I know some of it now. Anyway, so Lord, the Ganges came, all the sages were happy, and they were thrilled. Bhagirath was riding his chariot fast, and she was following him. As she was coming down the Himalayas, if you go to Google Maps and spend some time, look at Gangotri and Gaumukh, and you see the path she has to come to, Rasatala, where the heaps of ash are sitting. So she has to follow the path. That is the path of the Ganga, okay? So she's following him, and if you look in the Himalayas, there is one place where there was a sage called Janu Muni. This Janu Muni was performing Abhishek, Yagya, alright? King Bhagiratha's chariot went this way, and Ganga came with such a flood, she flooded Janu Rishi's whole ashram. His whole Yagya had to stop. He got upset. And he said, what is all this childish behavior? And he drank her up. Not one drop can go for King Bhagiratha. Had to screech his chariot, look behind. He's like, Ganga got there. Again obstacle. I have so far to go. So he came back and he prayed to Janu Rishi. Can you please release Ganga Devi? Now someone who drank water. We know how to release from only one place. But that becomes impure. Right? The Ganga cannot become impure. So he released her from his ears. Okay. Now why from the ears? Especially the right ear. It is said that in our body, at any time, even at the time when we are passing stool or urine, the whole body becomes contaminated except one part, the right ear. It always remains pure. Why? Because that is the ear in which mantra is spoken by the Guru, and that is the ear in which the Vedic mantras are spoken, even for the women. Okay, so it doesn't matter what time of year, day, month, this part always remains pure. So he left her from here that way. None of us have that ability. She came from Janu's ear. And the demigods also prayed, please let her go. We will give her the name as your daughter. Thus she got the name Jannavi. Now the reason for being her daughter is, that way he is the father. That means he has controlled her. One who gets the name of a daughter, that means that's the father. She is always controlled. So he said, okay, let her go. And finally, after so much difficulty and austerity, King Bhagiratha brought her to this place, Kapila's ashram in Rasatala. And there, as she washed those 60,000 lumps of ash or heaps of ash, all those 60,000 sons of King Sagara were relieved and they went into the heavenly realms. At that time, Lord Brahma told King Bhagiratha that you have done something that is practically impossible for anybody to do. So I give you two blessings. One, Here it is. These 60,000 have been gone to the realm. Here. Sagarasya jalam loke yavat sthasyati parthiva. As long as there are oceans on this earth. Sagarasya atmaja tavat swarge sthasyanti devatas. As long as there are oceans on the earth, the 60,000 sons of Sagara will enjoy heavenly lands. They're not coming. It's not like a 4-day vacation. They will be there for a very, very long time. And then he said, Iyam hi duhita jeshtha. This Ganga will be your first daughter. Tava Ganga bhavishyati. Duhita means daughter. Tvatkritena cha namnatha loke sthasyati vishruta. And she will be famous in this world as your daughter with your name. So she becomes Bhagirathi. Okay. So actually in India, there are phases where she's called by different names. Okay. I can't remember all of it, but first she's there, she's at Gomukh, then she comes down in Gangotri. Gomukh is only a few drops. Gangotri is where you actually see a stream, right? Then she has the name Bhagirathi. In Prayag, where she meets the other two rivers, she becomes the name Ganga. Doesn't matter, all rivers, they're called Ganga because their source is Ganga. Of course, there are different rivers in different places, but she is the prime, the most important river, so she's called Nadipatim, or the best of the rivers. Nadipatim is also the ocean. All right, so this is how Lord Brahma explained that question of Lord Ramachandra, how she became Tripathaga, and tell me in detail. Now, we told you this story in about hour and 10 minutes. Vishwamitra narrated this story from afternoon 12 o'clock till sunset. Okay, so all the details. And he told Lord Ramachandra, now it is sunset time, I'm going to stop. What does it indicate? Don't ask me more questions tonight. Sunset means do Sandhya, go to bed. We'll continue again next Sunday. So, hearing the story of Ganga, you feel anything? You should. If you don't feel today, you'll feel in a few minutes. Here's what happens when the story is spoken and when the story is heard. Okay. Dhanyam, yashasya, ayushyam, putram, swargam, athapicha. Dhanyam, prosperity, yashaha, ayusham, putram, swargam. 5. For who? Yah shravayati vipreshu. One who speaks to all the brahmanas. Kshatriyeshu. Okay. Vistareshu cha. Who speaks in detail. That's why I give you all the details, because I want the blessings from all of you. Priyante pitarastasya. All his forefathers become very pleased. Okay. Priyante daivatani cha. All the demigods will also be pleased. I hope they are pleased with me. So those of you who did not fall asleep or doze off, idam akyanam manusham gangavataranam shubham. Okay, what happens to yah shrunoti cha? Okay, I know who heard, and I know whose eyes closed. So yah shrunoti cha kakustha sarvan kaman avapnuyat. All your desires, all our desires will be fulfilled. Whatever that desire is, it will be fulfilled. Sarve papa pranashyanti. Any sin that we have performed is going to go away. Ayuhu kirtishta vardhate. Healthy, long life. It doesn't say healthy. Ayu, long life. Kirtishta vardhate. And a lot of fame. We will all become famous for having heard this from the lips of Vishwamitra. This is Vishwamitra telling Lord Ramachandra. Okay. I went way over time. Those who need to leave can happily leave. I will not be offended. Those who want to hang up can hang up. If you have any comments or questions, we can take a few. Any questions or comments? Here.
You mentioned like our right part of the ear is very pure, and I was thinking like when we are passing through water, we should 2 times the dietary that should be here, like this, like some of the devotees say some like the Vaida had left hand, why is right hand. So now I got the answer, and also the January, yeah.
Certain mantras are spoken in the left ear. The Guru's Gayatri and those mantras are spoken in the right ear. So worldly knowledge and all that can go from whichever ear. But Vedic knowledge has to go from right ear. That is why it is spoken in the right ear.
Jhana Rishi, I heard that he did not drag, he hold that water in Kamandalu.
So you heard that Janu Rishi held Ganga in the Kamandalu. Let's see what Vishwamitra says. Okay. Tasya Valepanam Gyatva Krubdho Januscha Raghava. Having known her Valepanam out of anger, Apibat Sa Jalam. Pibat Sa Jalam. Sarvam Gangayam Paramadbhutam. Pibam. Possible, Kamandal, I don't know. But Vishwamitra's version is, or Ramayana version is, he drank her. Another question. Tripathaga.
When we do
Pinda, yeah.
Like there is a Parisa, Aparisa. Like
Correct.
then the right side of the ground side, and when you are offering something, we should turn it to left side.
Correct.
Because
You turn it to right side.
Right.
Correct.
So why it should be?
So the question is, when one is doing Pinda Dana to the forefathers, the Brahmin thread that one wears, this is called Savyam, and then you do Prachina Viti. You put it to this side. Why is that? Because when you offer water to Vishnu, you're supposed to offer this way. When you offer water to Pitru, you offer this way. But for this, contaminates you. So the Brahman thread is on the other side. To keep the sanctity of the Brahman thread. Then when you have to offer water to Vishnu, you bring the thread this side and then you offer the water to Vishnu. That is why you don't offer water to the Pitrus this way, you offer this way. No, that's not bathroom, you don't do that. It has Prachina Viti. Impure and dirty are two different things, or improper and impure. This way, only so that you can chant and recite the mantras of Lord Vishnu. That is why it is this way. Anything else you do, it has to come this way. Alright, any questions on the phone? Online? Anyone awake?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Oh, yes,
Prabhuji.
you're awake?
Yes.
Alright,
Prabhuji,
any questions, thoughts, comments, objections?
yes, Prabhu, one question. Since you're on the screen, so I'm not sure, sometimes there is a mirror image, right? When we are online. So when you said this side, I'm not sure whether that's your left side or right side. So usually the general,
What do you
usually
mean? You wear a Brahmin thread?
yes, Prabhuji.
It's on your left shoulder?
Correct. Yes. That's what I wanted to make sure that I do it the right way.
No, left side, left way.
So it should be on the left.
I'm teasing you. Left shoulder is the right way. Right shoulder is the left way.
Okay. So left shoulder is the correct way.
Yes,
Yes.
I only teasing you. Yes, correct.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, your question here. Hold on.
So until they will pick up and what happens to the products so they will.
They are standing in a preta place.
Except India, I don't think so like other countries they got. So what are other than they
So they're all roaming here and there. They are struggling. They have not been relieved from their distress.
then they will.
When Putra does it.
So that means someone not born in India, they're not born in India.
They are not released. It's very difficult. So then the other option is that we help and preach and help people understand how important is that when they establish a relationship with Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna, Lord Ramachandra, then they can also be relieved. Jatayu was a vulture. Forget about Shudras or any such human generation. Vultures. Lord Ramachandra performed last rites for a vulture. It's unimaginable. No one doesn't even touch a vulture. He performed yajna for it. So that's the kind of generosity and kindness that Lord Ram carried, that even for vultures, then what to speak of others. So we have to help. That's the mandate. Like King Bhagiratha, we have a mandate. So these 60,000 in one sense, one can say they were his forefathers. But he didn't have to. So that mandate is that we also. So we have to live with excellence. That means our practices and all that should be good. But we live with excellence, but we give with benevolence. One should not hold back. One should be very giving. In whatever way we can give, we should give. Some may think, oh, such and such is a great preacher. They are giving so much. I can't do like that. The idea is not quantity. The idea is the spirit. The spirit of giving must be there. Only then all these pretas and these who are stuck and are in difficulty will be helped in different ways. Because we can pray, no? What did Vasudeva Datta do to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? His prayer was, please relieve this entire planet, entire universe actually. Lord Chaitanya said, whole universe has been delivered because of me. So what happened to all those pretas? That's what happened. Sarve Sukhino Bhavantu. Sarve Santu Niramaya. That's the Vedic prayer, right? So when it says Sarve, it's not just whoever I can survey. Not that survey. Survey all living beings. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Very powerful prayers. Okay? Alright, anything on the phone?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Paramatma Das here. Prabhu, one thing I want to understand is
You are the real Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, regarding that Pinda Pradhana, generally the sons will do as per the scripture. Now, what about them who are not having sons? That is one thing. Second thing is, I know it's a debatable thing. In the ISKCON, so some definitely say it at all, and some people say, hey, it is for the pure devotees. So confusing in that sense. I think can please help Prabhu.
I told you I'm not going to answer that question. So those who don't have daughters, those who don't have sons, the Vedic system is not heartless. It has levels of concessions that the son should do. If the son cannot do, then the brother, if there's a order, I forget that order. So the son should do. If the son cannot do, the grandson has to do. If the grandson is also not there, it's possible, then the son-in-law or someone else does. Adopted, son-in-law. Okay, so much opinion is there already. So there is some hierarchy by which they find a way to get them relieved from their condition. Okay. So there is a lot of debate on whether or not one should do Pindadana or not. And that's here is how I have resolved that debate for myself. I went through this very difficult situation in my own life. First, when I became, I should say I became a devotee. I was trying to become a devotee in the new way. It was very easy to say everything was, what is that great verse from Bhagavatam? Rinam Pitrunam Nayam Kinkaro Rinisha Rajan Yah Sarvatmana Sharanam Sharanyam Gato Mukundam Pariharta Krutyam. I learned that verse and told it to all my relatives also. Okay. Then after some time it dawned on me that the first two lines of the verse are something that I know very well. Devarshi Rinam and all. But the third line is what actually hit me. Yah Sarvatmana Sharanam Sharanyam. Sarvatmana. So I started asking myself, are you Sarvatmana Sharanam? And the answer was a big no. No. You're only 1% devotee. 99% you're still, what was that word I used? Punga. No, what is that? No, I said something. Ganga and Punga. So I realized I'm 99% Punga. Okay. So I said, well, hold on. I need to rethink this whole thing properly. Because it says, Yah Sarvatmana. I feel that each one should look within and feel, oh, I'm Sarvatmana Sharanam. Okay, then good job. Chant Hare Krishna and let your ancestors be relieved. In my heart, my answer was, oh, I'm not Sarvatmana yet. I have a long way to go. So then I had a lot of conversations here and there. So I got a variety of answers. One variety of answer was not required. And I was given references from Prabhupada's purports and Prabhupada's rights also, not required. And that's fine. Not required. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is very heavy about not required. That those who are in the process of bhakti, they don't have to do. But at the same time, there are also our own Vaishnava, Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas, who indicate that these are for Sarvatmana Sharanam Sharanyam. Okay. So then one of the ways to consider this is, are we all somehow earning money or no? Correct. Is it necessary to earn money? Answer is yes. But in the same Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's line is Srivas Pandit, who was asked, are you not going to take care of your family? You're not going to take care of your income situation. What will your family eat? And Srivas Thakur did. And they all asked, what does that mean? He said 3 times. By the time I clap 3 times, Supreme Lord Krishna is so kind that I will get to eat. My family will be nourished. He's taking care. Why I should worry? Can I clap 3 times? Nothing happens for me. Right? If I are randomly on the street, I clap 3 times, people will like, the real Punga here. So my point is, yes, we are devotees. At least I cannot say Sarvatmana Sharanam. So I have certain duties to perform that I need to understand. So that is where my mind is right now. Okay. Again, different people have different opinions. This is how I have resolved for myself. That I have a long way to go. Does that help you?
Absolutely, Prabhu. Thank you so much for that perception. I'm with you. Thank you.
If Paramatma says okay, then let me see if someone on the phone has questions, because I already held them late and it's 11 o'clock in India. Any phone people questions? Are all the Bharatvasis asleep already? I guess so. All right. Here you have a question?
Yeah. I have a question about the king, Bhagavata, and he was like doing a lot of austerities and this is like, after you would do it for like 5 years, another like obstacle would come in the way. So I was wondering how, like, it was so much perseverance for him, and how do we cultivate that in our life when obstacles continue to come in for us if they do?
I'm in a situation where, of course, and my inspiration since studying this has been King Bhagirath. I've been in a situation where it is very, very tough. Okay, of course, not as tough as Bhagirath's situation, but tough. Of course, I'm not austere like him either. But every 2 weeks, there is a little glimmer of hope. The very next day, it goes back to point zero. We start, we say back to square one. It's been going on for 4.5 years now. Okay. And there is always this allure of things seem to get better, it's not getting better. It keeps reset. And it's not my personal situation. It's just some service situation that I'm in. Personal, I'm not so concerned. And for Bhagiratha, he had two things going for him. One, he got a mandate from his predecessor. In this case, father, you can generalize it as a spiritual master. Okay. We hear this verse in Bhagavad Gita. Vyavasayatvika buddhi, ekeha kuru mandana. Right? And there are hundreds of them. Prabhupada got a mandate, 40 years, nothing happened. In fact, there were obstacles, not just nothing happened. If nothing happens, you can think. It was always reset for him. Prabhupada did not lose. Why? What they hold on to is not the circumstance, they hold on to the mandate. That is what gives them life and enthusiasm. That my guru has said it, it will happen. It will happen. However it happens, it will happen. That was his enthusiasm. Because the words of the guru are such. The reason he is called guru, okay, the opposite of the word guru is laghu. Laghu means light and guru means heavy. So it means that whatever the guru says, his word has more weight than hundreds of other people who say something else. So what we hold on, and that is the exercise, that at the ground level, people like me can look at the circumstances and feel very disappointed and lose heart, right? Or lose enthusiasm. But people like Bhagiratha, Srila Prabhupada, all these personalities, they are holding on to the words of those predecessors. And that's what fuels their enthusiasm. Because that word will come true. Whenever it comes true, it will come true. That is their conviction. I'm supposed to speak one Sunday feast on the word trust. That's what I've been thinking and preparing. That is it. That trust, that word spoken by my guru will come true. Even if it doesn't look like it today, tomorrow, next year, whenever, but it will come true. And because it will come true, I continue rendering my service without circumstantial favorability or unfavorability. Important lessons, Two young boys, Rama, Lakshmana, are listening, and we are listening. But this is how the Guru is teaching them, through stories. But so many lessons in this. I didn't pause at all the lessons about arrogance of one's own, the commitment, the perseverance, circumstantially blaming. There are so many lessons. That is why he's narrating. And I'm also not rushing through the story. I hope that's okay. All right. Final question. Anyone? Burning question? Okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Ramayana ki jai. Okay. Sorry, went longer. I was a little overzealous with Ganga Devi's story. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.